I want to go to another issue. This is interesting. Students at University of Sydney, they have voted to cut all ties with the Australian Defence Force. There was a virtual general meeting last month. The University Student Representative Council overwhelmingly voted to remove funding from military-related programs and redirect that money towards, and I quote, more socially productive ends. Now, I tell you, Prue, the only reason they can speak freely on a university campus is there are graves in countries overseas of proud Australians who fought and died for their country. I find this disgusting.
It's totally insulting. It would be more socially productive if we could get these wimps, these idealists, these irrational people who wouldn't have a clue about history into national service. That would be very socially productive because they'd get a reality check about what life would be like under China, where you look at what they're doing to student activists there. How well will they be going under China? I mean, it's just, we have bred a generation of wimps, of people who have no understanding of history, who are snowflakes and, to me, just aren't contributing at all. So I think we need to go really hard. I don't know if the Defence Force would even want to have them in national service, but it would do this whole generation a whole lot of good.
This is a point Andrew Hastie made. You know, he was sitting in a university lecture, Rowan, and he, you know, watched the towers go down, or they might have gone down the next day, and he decided he was going to sign up. He wasn't going to be someone pushing around paper or, you know, just dealing with their inbox on an email. He wanted to fight for his country, and obviously he has. Peter Dutton says, forget all your woke rubbish and your morning teas and all that sort of stuff. The job of defence is to defend. You're not a humanitarian brigade. How do you put the rigour back there, I think, into young people? We could be called on as a country to dig deep over the next couple of decades. If you look at where our region is heading, I don't know, many of them would fight for our country, would they?
No, they wouldn't. And this is the problem, as I absolutely agree with Prue, that, you know, national service should certainly be reconsidered. And Andrew Hastie is just the best example of how someone can be inspired by events and recognise the importance of defending the freedoms that we have. But the real danger here, it goes beyond what Prue was saying about the not learning history. In the absence of learning history and in the absence of learning values, they're actually being taught. Our universities are filling their heads with woke garbage, critical race theory, and self-loathing. So it's the double whammy. It's this fact that not only do they not appreciate the great historical achievements of this nation and the way we had to fight to defend those freedoms, they also, at the same time, are being taught utter untruths about gender, about hating our own civilization, hating our own achievements. And so this combines together to give us these group of individuals who hate themselves. It's tragic.
Exactly. I think the dogs are barking for them, Rowan.
I do like dogs on the show. They could come on any time. I want to look at another issue. This has been a wild week of wokeness in Scotland, well, right around the world, but Scotland in particular. A flop 26 in Glasgow, as we know, but a primary school in Edinburgh has made the headlines by asking male students and teachers to signal their support for equality by wearing a skirt. Now, it's an email that went out to parents. Castleview Primary School requested students as young as 3 to be involved, even offering them skirts if they didn't have one. Now, I tell you what, Rowan, I find this offensive on many levels, particularly when it involves young kids, but it's also pretty sexist because it's assuming that women only wear skirts and the only way you can feel like a woman is to wear a skirt. I don't often wear a skirt. I've certainly got pants on, but I don't often wear a skirt. Are you going to get yourself a skirt, Rowan, and get in the groove with women?
Well, I'm sorry, Peter, but how do you know that I'm not wearing a skirt? You can't, you know, I mean,
that's your
I may well have dressed up for the part today, you know. But the joke here is, Peter and Prue, that we said how stupid they are, the lefties are, and how they don't teach people their own history. In Scotland, men have been wearing skirts for centuries. They've been wearing them. You have to be so stupid in Scotland to think, oh, this is clever, get men to wear skirts. I mean, what morons are these teachers? Not only do they not understand their own history, they think they're being really clever. about getting Scots to wear kilts. I mean, how ridiculous.